What's up, and welcome back to the Yapper podcast. It's so good to have you listening. I'm excited for this episode. I have a very yummy drink that we'll get to in a minute. I have a very yummy topic to talk about, and I feel very yummy. Little debrief. I don't know what's happening in the world, okay? But in my world, a lot is happening. I am just so grateful for where I am at right now. With all the things I want to still achieve, with all the, I don't know, bills and things and no normal life shit that's going on, but I am just so grateful for where I'm at. And I saw a rainbow today because the weather is doing backflips all over the entire fucking spectrum. But I saw a rainbow today, so you guys feeling good, okay? I want to talk about the drink that I'm having. So I'm currently bleeding and my body is demanding ceremonial tea. That's all I've been drinking today. And so we listen, okay? That's what we do. And I have a beautiful oolong tea, which is, funnily enough, called Moon Goddess. And I got it gifted from a very, very, very dear friend of mine. And this is what we're sipping today. So cheers to another conversation, and thank you for being here. Just leaves and water. Like, let me take another one. So delicious. All right, you guys, let me spill the tea. No, let me not spill the tea. Let me spill the wisdom, okay? No, as always, these conversations are for inspiration only and always. So do not think I know everything. Please do not take my word as truth. Please don't. Just don't. But maybe my words and my stories and my experiences inspire something in you. And I would love for that to happen. That would be fun. But I do not claim to have any authority over your mind, over your thoughts and choices and how you want to see the world. So please don't come at me if you don't agree with something, because you don't have to. Okay. This is very important to me. Honestly, it's just this is just like the space to like share and to mingle thoughts and things and perspectives, and this is way more fun than exclude and only include anyway. So, the very, very important and actually pretty personal topic that I want to dive in with you today is on the topic of purpose. And I know you, exactly you listening, I know that you feel that word somewhere in your body. I just know it. And this word carries a certain weight to it that I want to dive deeper into with you guys today, because it's been something that has been following me since probably forever. It feels like forever. And is, in my opinion, one of the topics that is at the very forefront in our society. And I think also my generation, plus and minus. Anyway, so the topic of purpose has been something that has been fascinating me since being a little kid. Reading fantasy books and absolutely devouring each and every magical induced written thing that I could get my hands on there was often this kind of trope plot of, the hero and heroine didn't know they were the hero or heroine, and they were just living their normal lives, you know what I'm saying, doing normal human shit. And then suddenly, boom, the prophecy. Suddenly something happened in their lives, oftentimes pretty magical, cool things. Or anyway, Eileen. Okay, we could talk about books afterwards. Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. But then like a prophecy hit or whatnot, and suddenly they have a purpose, and they have this trial that they need to do, or they have these powers suddenly that they need to learn to wield, and etc. etc. We know those stories. And I have been reading these since I could read, well, like 5. And I always felt like my moment will come. Once upon a time in my life, I will feel the same way. And so it has been something that has been very present all in my life. And I feel like many people feel that way too. And I feel like many people are feeling that feeling now, especially with where the world is at. And I want to get into this because it's nice to like talk about purpose and whatnot, right? But let us understand or just think about why we are feeling this desire collectively for purpose and what it kind of symbolizes or signifies, maybe to like just understand a little bit the wider, I don't know, thought sphere that we'll be diving into, okay? These are my observations and my thoughts, so you might have a, addition to it, which is nice. Please drop it in the comments if you have one. I would love that. But I believe that the reason, no, let's not go with the reason. What purpose kind of symbolizes and why it has come to the forefront in our society and in our lives. I believe that the general reason why purpose has come to the forefront in our society and in our lives is that because we are no longer satisfied, inspired by, and intrigued to go live out the way of life that is being advertised by our society, by the societal structures that we're living in, and just our environment. I believe that we are craving certain feelings and experiences that this normal life does not meet, right? And I also feel like there is a deep sadness, maybe, or anger living in our bodies as well, in connection with the topic of purpose, where we feel betrayed by a system that has promised us many things, but has still tried to push their agenda instead of actually listening, actually supporting us in our fire and our art and our ideas and our goodwill and good heart to make a difference, right? So, why I believe many people feel like drawn to their purpose is because they want to make a different life for themselves, right? They're no longer satisfied with the status quo and they want to do it differently. And I believe that we're not essentially only drawn towards like to purpose, but to what that represents to us, right? So to give you a few examples, it's a feeling of liberation. It's a feeling of freedom because you move in your own ways. You make money in your own ways, maybe. You live by your own rules, right? You wake up whenever you want to, you go to bed whenever you want to. All of that freedom that comes with that. the creative collaborations and contributions that you can make by having an environment that is supportive of who you are and what your, let's say, mission is, what your purpose is, and having that support and being able to co-create, to collaborate, and to have a greater influence. And I'm not talking about like getting more powerful in a sense of oppression and whatnot, but understanding what power you have and then being able to influence your environment in a good and positive way, right? I also guess that many people are just craving more magic in their lives, that they're just like so bored the fuck out, or just so done with these various shades of gray and just crave a little splash of pink. That's why I'm here. But I guess these could be reasons or could be feelings that represent purpose, right? And at this point, I just want to say that with all the things I have said and I will be saying, I am not saying that purpose is a bad thing, that purpose is not real, right? So the act of pursuing a purpose, if you feel called to do that thing, if you know what it is and you're like actively going there or you want that, I am 100% certain that I have a purpose too. And over the years, it has like kind of crystallized, and I have an idea and it just fires me up inside whenever I freaking think about it. So I know this shit's real. What I want to do with this conversation is to give you a different perspective and maybe standpoint when you look at that topic, okay? Just had to like blob that in for a second. Because I don't want people to. Yeah, I just want to make it clear. Context, that's all, baby. All right. So we covered like the purpose thing. This is what we're feeling drawn towards, right? And we covered what it represents to us, right? The freedom, the liberation, the being able to say what you want to say, speak what you want to speak, to live in your way, to contribute in a way that feels purposeful to you. And that is another thing, is that I think it is natural to a person, to a human. I feel like we are meant to have purposes, right? Just to be in a team and have like a important role, like this is your role, this is your purpose, can feel very empowering. And especially if it's like cut to your skills and your interests, that's something that it just fuels you, right? So to feel purposeful in what you're doing and not rolling out of bed at, I don't know, 6 a.m. being like, oh my God, again, 11 hours in front of a fucking computer. I could not. I bow to all the people doing that. I could not. I would go mad second day. I would be gone instantly. But anyway. And I also feel like we just crave nourishment. We want something to feed our souls and not just our fucking bank accounts. I think there is a shift happening too of what is truly valuable to us. I think purpose also symbolizes feeling alive, feeling in love, feeling at peace, right? So these are all the things that I see in this like middle ground beneath purpose. But I dare to wager that this isn't the core of our desires, right? I think there is something deeper. And this is like the plot twist that I've been like cooking and you've been waiting for. I believe that at the core of our yearning for purpose sits this one very thing. And that thing and that desire is our desire for authenticity. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Hold your pants, buckle, yet again. It sounds like a fucking cliche, and I understand. But hear me out. When you think about your purpose, and when you think about the things that we have listed before, I want to ask you a couple questions, okay? While I just brew myself another cup of tea. Tell me, aren't you pursuing your purpose or wanting to pursue your purpose to live a life by your ideas and intentions and values, by your inspirations, by what intrigues you? Aren't you wanting to live a life of purpose and to follow your purpose because you want to share your authentic medicine with the world? Aren't you wanting to, pursue this path of purpose because you want more of this life and you know you can create it and you want this for yourself but others too? Don't you feel this thrumming inside your chest of something so original and unique that you feel like the world just needs? Isn't this freedom and liberation that you are seeking at the bottom of all of it just you deeply craving to be yourself and live and create your life from that space? Huh. I've been thinking the same things, y'all. This is a tab that has been open for a couple weeks and months, I guess. This is a perspective shift that has found me maybe last year, because I've been like going deep with like that purpose thing. And at some point I realized yes, I want to feel all those things, but essentially I just want to be fucking me and be done with it. And like be done with all the pretense and things that I don't want, right? And it gave me, I would say, a wider perspective on this topic of purpose. Because I understood that I was so focused on, again, that purpose thing and finding that thing, that I was going outside of myself instead of looking inside. Because apparently, I was kind of born with this, right? I was born with this. Thank you, Lady Gaga. Funny enough, there's a girl at work that calls me Lady Gaga. It's just a fun fact. Where were we? ADHD, brain bleeding. Chaos is pre-programmed. But I realized that I needed to shift my approach in order to understand what that thing is that is calling me, right? And to accept that it might not come like this, that it is a journey. Because let me tell you this, with just my couple years of experience with like swimming through that topic, okay? I understood that this path of purpose and you wanting to be authentically you, that's like a self-help slash self-growth journey on fucking steroids. Like if you really want to commit to that purpose thing, oh honey, that's your boot camp, okay? In a beautiful way. But what purpose does and what your commitment in a way to that feeling does, it starts to unravel each and every piece of you that is not you, right? That's why this whole idea or whatnot might not drop the moment you're like, oh, I'm curious what my purpose is. Let me think about it. It will not drop then, okay? It will mostly and pretty surely drop into your body first and then into your mind. But anyway, it unravels you, right? And you have to show life that you really want it, in a sense and in a way. But as I understood this more and more, and I think I understood this quite a while ago, but didn't consciously realize what I was doing, is I thought to myself at one point, okay, this might take a couple years, right? Let's be realistic. I might not know this today or tomorrow. Let me sweeten up that journey and just simply start to fall in love with myself first. Best thing I did, okay? And this is like why I was saying that your purpose is essentially you being you, right? This is the peace, this is the excitement, this is the inspiration, this is the intrigue, this is the freedom, this is the creative contribution that you've been craving. Your path of purpose, your purpose creation, that business, that course, that piece of music, that piece of art, that I don't know what else you're doing, that book. This is an extension of your authentic energy, of your authentic aliveness. Because originality is only ever born and rooted in authenticity. If you want to create something completely unique, you first have to get to know yourself. And that brings me to a quote that I wrote that I just love it so much. And it just keeps me fucking grounded. And it goes like this. If you want to get to know the powers that you wield, you must first get to know the person wielding them. I know. It's okay. I love it too. It's so good. But that's essentially what I'm talking about. In order for you to get that idea eventually, you gotta know yourself. And how does that look like? Okay. What do you like? And what do you not like? What intrigues you? What repels you? Where is your no? Where is your yes? Where are your boundaries? What are your values? What is your why behind of all of this? What do you love most about yourself and why? And can you announce that in a very poetic way to me right now? What is your favorite color and why? And can you put this into a very scenic description? Again, dripping in poetry. Why are you your best friend? What are the reasons? What makes you you? What would you say is your superpower? How do you deal with an emotionally taxing day? What do you do? How do you cope with pain? What is the thing that keeps you grounded throughout a very stressful day? These are things that you need to know, right? And by getting to know yourself, being able to navigate through life hand in hand with your core, you'll create an environment. First, you map out your inner world by getting to know yourself. You start to know who you're fucking dealing with. And then by getting comfortable with that, by being able to express yourself to yourself and know that, oh, she got me. You get daring and you start to express yourself outside of yourself. And then the environment starts to change because you are living more authentically. You are living more aligned. And then just this cool thing of if something changes within you, something changes without you starts to happen. And that's all quantum physics. And it's nice and it's cool. And it's for real. So don't come at me. But to bring us back to the core topic, if you're feeling this calling for purpose, take it real. Take it for real. Go for it. But don't try to escape with it. Don't try to kind of slither your fears into that, like cut them off before. Because I see so many people thinking that their purpose is like their ticket out of this society, of the various degrees of desperation that they're living in. Right? But your purpose is, again, it is the song of your soul. It is an extension of you. And you can only know it. You can only like start to find piece by piece by piece by getting to know yourself, because it is born from you. And I guess, or I believe, that nature is so fucking smart to do that, right? Because your path of purpose is essentially bringing you closer to yourself, yes, but also to the divinity in you, to your power, because you start to realize that you are an active co-creator in this life experience that you're in. You have a say, right? And not in a godlike way of like, I am the one. No, we are humble creatures here, okay? But I have a say in this. I can make choices, right? And when I know myself, and when I feel what direction is calling me, I can make choices in alignment with that, which then leads me in alignment with my purpose, because I'm moving by the song of my soul. Okay? And as I said, nature is so smart to make it that way, is because she wants us to realize our power. Why do you think society is trying to conform us in so many ways? How it is putting difference beneath the ground and calling it a sin. I'm talking genders, I'm talking the things you wear, I'm talking sexual orientation, I'm talking your desires and just what you want to do with your life. Deeming it, no, that's not productive. Like, you can't make money with this and you can't, whatnot. Because our authenticity is our fucking superpower. Because once we realize and know thyself, and just a little side note, this is a progressive evolutionary journey. It won't stop, okay? You won't just like one day meet the version of yourself and be like, yep, I've seen it all. I hope you never. Because what a fucking boring life you will live after that. But just so you know. But this is why they do it. In my opinion, in my eyes. They're pushing conformity because we'll believe that we need to do it, and we squeeze ourselves into something where we feel powerless. Because we're living against our values, our nature, our bodies, everything. And powerless creature, they won't riot. They don't have the energy for it. They don't have the stamina for it. They don't have the capacity to think outside of it. But once you do start to realize that your authenticity is first and foremost your power, second off, it is the most productive thing you can contribute to your own life and to the life of others. Like, I would even dare to say that our sole purpose is to simply be ourselves. And that, again, sounds so cliche, but isn't it that we want? Again, back to our conversation with like the purpose thing, where purpose is just this word that summarizes all of these different feelings that essentially authenticity gives us. And then we don't need that crop of land to feel freedom. We'll feel freedom because we respect ourselves, because we fell in love with ourselves, because we value what we value. We say no to what we don't want. We say yes to what we do. Right? Then comes the creative collaboration and contribution, because you start to actually do something and not live in fear, because you know who you are, and you feel like you just want to share it. Like me with that podcast. There's just something about that. I just knew how to do it. And I had to do it for myself because I've been sitting for this for quite some time. And I love doing this, okay? And I knew how to do it completely my way. Alas, everything's pink. But it all comes down to this. It all comes down to this. I think that the world needs your magic. And not just what you can create from that space of authenticity, but simply you being you. I feel like the people around you, they need you to be completely and fully and wholly you and feel good about it. Either they feel repelled by this because it shows them something that they cannot yet look at and they leave, which is a good thing for you because that makes space. And you'll need that because you'll want to expand once you move up that ladder in a way. It's not a corporate ladder, it's what is it? A spectrum ladder. Okay, head. Thank you for your contribution. And for all the others that have been waiting for you to say this, to be real, to be authentic, to say how it is, to share yourself and feel inspired by, oof, that just triggers another conversation that we'll have 100,000%, which is on my deep fascination with the topic of inspiration and my firm belief that we came here together solely and only to inspire each other. This is all the reason. If we could do it without each other, there would be just one human being plopped down on the earth, just getting its, I don't know, levels. Yep, saving the princess and then leaving again. But for some reason, God put us on this floating ball of dirt in the middle of space somewhere together. And there must be a reason to it. And there must be many different reasons that will remain a mystery because only God can think these big thoughts. But I believe that we came here together to inspire each other. And authenticity is, in my eyes, the answer to all of this. It's the freedom we crave. It's the connection we crave. It's the expression and just the carefreeness and the joy that comes is what we crave. It's the perspective and the clarity that we crave that authenticity brings us. It is the respect and the appreciation that we crave by having a relationship with ourselves. That, to me, is ultimately the purpose of life. And what is being created from that space, that's just epic, fucking, unique, original, magical shit that I want to see. But this whole journey of purpose, it's for you. It has always been for you. Everything in your life is for you. I'm not saying this to woo you, but it's just for real. If the world goes to shit right now, if you lose everybody, there's just you and you. There's just you and you. And this is the moment where you will realize that this is either my ride or die that I know I can depend on, or I'm stranded with my worst enemy. And you choose which side you're on. If you go with the best friend or if you go with the enemy. Go with the best friend. It's way more fun. It's just such a good feeling to like yourself because you're around her or him or them 24/7. If you don't like yours, that's so shitty. Okay? And I know 100% that you are lovable. However weird and crazy you are. I'm setting the bar quite high for weird, okay? For crazy, for delusional most days, and pretty abstract in her ways of doing, being, breathing, and creating life. So try to beat me first. And then we can talk about all the parts that you think are not lovable, or I can confirm that they are. Okay? And the world needs them. And you need them. My God. I'm already teasing you, okay? There will be an episode coming out on the topic of my fascination of inspiration. And there will be an episode that will come out on the topic of self-love and building that connection. And you get to choose which one you want to see first. So let me know by writing in the comments either inspiration first or self-love first. And I will then conclude and see who won. And then you get your sweet treat first. And then another very good conversation the second. I think I don't have anything else to say, to be honest. This has been so good to just speak it from my chest. I hope it gave you a little bit of a different perspective to understand that you're just craving yourself. You're just craving more of yourself when you think about purpose. And life gets easier when you like yourself. It really does. So, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for listening. And I really wish for each and every individual on this planet, and this might turn even into a little prayer, to feel safe enough to show their colors, their ways, to speak their words and tell their stories. And to know that it's not about essentially, is it lovable or not? That is not the ultimate question, but do you want to experience it or not? It's all about you, always. I wish everybody so much luck and fun and joy and transformation, and I hope you become a million different people on this journey, because that's, in my eyes, the fun part, even though it hurts sometimes, but that's part of the journey too. Full spectrum, baby. And I just love the thought that maybe many different parts of this journey of purpose have been listening through different people, and like the sentence is for her and this word is for her, and just like my yappery being like caught up in so many little bits and pieces, and then God being like, yep, this is yours, and then I just love the concept of inspiration. I'm so excited to talk about this. Okay, I'll leave you at this. Thank you once again. Let's cheers one last time. Me with my ceremonial moon goddess tea. You with whatever you have. Cheers to this fucking life. Cheers to being us and ourselves. Cheers to being weird. Cheers to doing whatever the fuck we want because we can. Okay, just find your way. Cheers, motherfuckers, and I'll see you at the bar for the next episode.